But I said let love go, God plenty love will stay. It no matter what they do and no matter what they say. But I said strictly rubber dubber where we play. Hey, this is Junior Cat digging up Talk Truth. Telly, scene, you don't know. Don't move your dial, don't move your channel. Talk Truth, telly, scene, just give it a view. Junior Cats are coming through. Boomer drop.
Beans Road are the road. At the first road I came to when I left the university hospital during the time of my birth. Mother Mitzi, Father Robert. The gate number 41. And you know at Kingston 11. School, Penal Tabernacle, Balmaji Primary, Penwood Secondary, and Norman Manley Secondary. Job experience, I Build Metal, Gandhi Road, Pepe, Bag Industry, Beans Road. Wyndham Hotel. In the kitchen, Expol Security. I was an independent unit cadet of the 80s. Spent some years in America, gaining other experiences. Music is my passion, DJing and reciting poems, a cappella and dub. I'm not a person who live for myself. I live and let live. I know where I'm coming from, but I never let it affect where I am going. How I become a citizen of Olympic Garden, Beans Road. At the time of my birth, Mama and Daddy lived together at 41 Beans Road. The landlord was Aunt Rose, aka Edna Lewis. My father met in a terrible car accident when I was only 1 year old. After he was buried, my mom came under pressure, so she had was to leave Olympic Garden and go back where she lived. As a child, my mother originated from St. Elizabeth, Black River, but her mother brought her to Kingston when she was just a little girl, and that was in Jonestown on a street called West Road. So when my father died, she go back to Trenchtown. My godmother fell in love with me. She never have any kids of her own. She raised Desmond Lynn Noel. Them call Desmond Lookabush, them call Lynn Pem Pem, and them call Noel Sasuke. Aunt Rose displayed interest in me, so she wanted me to stay with her. My mom had my big sister Suzette, who was 3 at the time. So not long after we moved, she brought me back to Aunt Rose and said yes, she will allow her to keep me. So that's where I live and go to school. But on holidays and weekends, I would go to see mom. We should help with the lunch money, the bus fare, and so on and so forth. My mom was living in Hopeful. Right next to Eventide Home is a big fence part of Eventide Home and Hopeful. Same place over there, so Williagard comes from. Yes, that little blue house over there. Yeah. Into those little sanddash houses, the bathroom outside, we used to bathe in a trough. The kitchen outside also. I know we use with chimney, so on and so forth. Situation arises, so we had was to move. So mom then moved on a street called Thompson Street, right across from Bass Theatre. In a little old house, an abandoned looking building. Underneath there's a colonel used to quat and fire shot up in a jungle during the political struggle and war. My mom then moved to Myers Street. The landlord there was Miss Enid. I was small, but I remember Buddy, Slim, Cherry, and Carmen. I remember them people there. Mom lived there for a while, then moved to Havana, where she lived on building B, right next door to sister, which is Tony Welch baby mother. Then her final piece of abode in Jamaica was in Gregory Park, 228 Condor Avenue, before she migrated to America. So while living on Beans Road, those are the places that I visit my mother on weekends, some holidays, so on and so forth. But we'll get into that down in this video. What I can tell you though, Olympic Garden, Kingston 11 is an interesting place, and I'm happy that I spend most of my life there. In this post, you'll learn about some people that I grew up with, people that I rub shoulder with. You'll learn about the political war. You'll learn about the Beans and the Buckers War, one of the biggest, toughest, longest community war that was fought in Jamaica. It happened right here in Olympic Garden with Binns Road and Balcom Drive and later spread throughout the Kingston 11 community. Viewers and subscribers, kick back, relax while I take you down memory lane, Kingston 11 to the world. You're watching Talk Shoe Telly. Talk Shoe Tune. Talk Shoe. Talk Shoe people. Talk Shoe.
Yeah, this is the Lucian John Messenger, and you're in tune to Talk Show Telly, telling it as it is. Lord, give them strength to face another day. Make it along life's road and carry their heavy load. Give them the strength, oh, to carry on. Oh, my Lord. Talk Show Telly.
I choose to start my journey with Aunt Rose, one of the most powerful women in my life. A woman that remains in my heart forever. Although she made her transition, her memories and works live on inside of me. Let's get right into it. Make no mistake about me living with Aunt Rose and she caring for me. My mom was always into my life. As a child, my holidays was never spent on Binns Road, where I live with Aunt Rose. They would either spend in the country or with mom. But down in the video, I will explain the love, responsibility, and care both persons had for me. But what both Aunt Rose and my mom have in common was motherly love. Aunt Rose never had any kids for herself, yet she cared for four. Noel Reed, aka Sasuke, Joan Mackenzie, aka Lynn, Desmond Nicholson, we just call him Desmond, and myself, Wayne Thomas, them call me Wayne. Lynn's parents was originally from Westmoreland, but at the time, her daddy used to work at the HTB bakery and resides in Arnett Garden. I'm not sure how she ended up by Aunt Rose, but what I do know, she was there from a little baby, and Aunt Rose kept her, cared for her, nourished her, like she did with Desmond, Sasuke, and me. R.I.P. Aunt Rose, God bless your soul. Aunt Rose was the type of person you could just come there, find somewhere and sleep. In the morning, she would see you, and before she questioned you, she would make breakfast, feed you, listen to your problem, and just give you somewhere to stay. She's an angel sent from above. She's the most loving person I've ever met, closest to perfection. And her leadership was an example to us. She taught us to love God, love each other. She grew up us in church, and I've never heard she speak ill of anyone. She was a God-fearing person. We had to attend a devotion every morning in the living room, sing together, discuss the Bible, and pray together. She grew us up to stay inside the house, but on weekends, she allowed us to go inside the open land and play. I got a chance to run up and down with my neighbors. Shelley and Lottie and Camille Thomas Donovan, Winston Khan, Marcia Ivy Tony. Although Jonas King was older, he would come out sometime and hang out with us. Rubal was way older, but he was very protective. With him around, no one could harm us. Gregory Johnson, aka Porky Pig. He was in our age group, but he used to love the big people company. Always caught up in stealing and gambling. Craig was a neat freak, always brushing his shoes. Jack Roach makes some big beige kite. Sometimes the kites are even bigger than him. There's a lot more names to mention, but I will enlighten you as we go along. Aunt Rose is not the type of person to get upset. She's not the rough type. She's more soft type. And if something goes wrong, she would pray. Sometimes the guys would come around, go on the horse or climb the fruit trees, pick the guineas and the tambourine, mess up the yard. And when them step on the roof, it leaks. When she see them, she would come out to the back door and rebuke them in Jesus' name. Blood them up. She would say, come out of the tree, come out. They would laugh and get up the tree fast and run. They would never disrespect her. I remember Aunt Ida, that is Aunt Rose's mother, was in the back of the yard frying fritters and dumpling. And Gregory knows time the pot. And as soon as she turn the dumpling, that it is fried, turn her back. Gregory Nose jumped the fence, took out the flitters from the pot, and jumped back over the fence. She chased him with the fork. He laughed and he run. Sometimes when she's frying, the food takes so long to finish, and I wanted to taste up my mouth. I would look two sides and then put a dumpling into my pocket. Hot as hell. When it started to burn me, I would hold my pocket and walk away quickly. Aunt Ida loved Noel. He was her favorite. Although Aunt Rose grew him, he was her nephew. His mom was Valerie Baker, who went to America and never returned. To date, her whereabouts is not confirmed. We know not if she's alive or she's dead. And that affects Saskia. Lynn used to take pride in herself when she's going on the street. She would fix up herself properly. When Aunt Rose sent her to shop, she would take me with her and give me the bag because she don't want to walk with it. So if any boy called to her and she talked to him or smile, I would go right back and tell Aunt Rose. Aunt Rose, one boy called to Lynn and she'll laugh. She would get upset. She was one who used to bathe me to send me to school. So whenever I tell on her, when she's bathing me, she would take the rag and the soap and use her fingernail to scratch me whenever she's soaping me up. I would bawl and say, I could tell Aunt Rose upon you, I could tell upon you. She would look me dead in the eyes and keep on scratching me with her nails. But that didn't stop me from tell again. I really love Aunt Rose, and that is the main reason why it's so hard for a woman to satisfy me 100%. I was the baby amongst all the names that I call. She would pick up ripe almonds at the end of church, and when she reached home, she would eat the mellow one into my clothes so I could find it. If me cry, she called me pops and hug me up until me stop bawl. Anybody trouble me, trust me, she would make sure comfort me before she asks what really happened. If she couldn't find nothing for me to eat, she would cry, tears running down her cheek. My comfort is under her arms. I would suck my tongue and put my hands under her arm. I'm always by the machine that she used to sew the children's uniform for back to school. I saw her pain as much as I saw mine. I wanted her to be happy. So I started working at a tender age. Our brother named Uncle Joe have a welding shop. So I would go down there and help out. At the end of the week, I would get $5 on check. I used to help out since I'm going to primary school. I used to go to Balmaji Primary. So you know the factory was close to there. It was on Henley Road. And a part of it is on Gandhi Road. His shop named Ibil Metal, and a bigger company was there called Masalin Engineer. She had a brother who lived in the same house. We call him Skemp. Him named Cecil Sharon. He was an artist. Being that my father passed, I take on to him. So every Friday we would meet him at work. He took us to the Chinese shop, buy us food, buy us juice. Him love the bar, you know. So by the time we done eat, you know, say, him stop at 3, 4, 5, 6 bar. By the time we get to the house, he was drunk as a bat. We used to make fun of him when he get to the house. His wife, Mitchie, her name is Sheila Henry. She would meet him most times because if you not get to him early, the money would come to the house to take care of the kids, that would have done. So when she meet him, she depends, Skem, give me the money. Sometimes carry on and him cuss. But all she wanted was the money to take home to run the house. Before you knew it, Aunt was taking another brother. Them call him Gresford. From time to time, she would take in people to stay at the house once they have a problem and have nowhere to stay. Once them come in, they become family. I remember taking a little old man. And when the man come in and sees me, the man start behave as if he's a bad man. When they talk to him, draw him knife. And it was hell to get him out of the house. All she did was pray and beg God to change him. Me, Lynn and Saskia, all I want to do is beat him. But you know, she would never, ever allow us to do that. Aunt Rose used to take me back and forth from the clinics. She's the one who took me to get all my shots. I am very afraid of injection. So she would put me across her laps, held me down, so the doctor could stick me. I was a sickly child, traveled with asthma. When the asthma take me, it's like me knock out. Then which part me there. She would rub me up with alcohol and anoint me with healing oil. Pray for me. Sometimes I pass out, all I can hear is her praying while I come back to life. Although I attend Penal Tabernacle, church, and school, she always wanted to take me to her church occasionally, Reverend V.T. Williams, and have him pray for me. And that's how I know prayer works. It was not the hospital, but it's a prayer that was prayed for me, took my asthma away. If I give trouble, I'll get a little strapping from her. She didn't beat me regularly. She summed it up in one. 6 months with a problem, then one day she would give it to me. When she beat me and she said to sit down and crying, she gets sorry for me. So I would get special breakfast and mellow almonds from trees when she coming in from church. And that's a way of she showed me that she really loved me. And because I behaved badly while I was strapped. I would sleep in her bed with her at nights. But when her husband came to the house occasionally, I have to sleep in the couch. The only thing I liked him for back then is when he's coming to the house, he would bring KFC and fries. But after I finished eating, I became upset because he took away my sleeping space beside my Aunt Rose. Sometimes 3 of us sleep in the bed, me, Aunt Rose, and Lynn. Remember, I was the baby among all.
Keep watching. In part 2, you'll learn about her husband, Kenneth Lewis. Yes, a him own Lewis Funeral Parlor downtown. Used to be at Pink Lane, now it's at Charles Street. He never treat her good. Because she was soft and believed in her God, he used her, but God have her. Stay tuned as my journey continues.